Coercion, envy, and straight up lies. Let's break down episode 7 of Tell Me Lies. I have a lot of notes and we're gonna get through this. This is my third time filming the video and I'm taking it as a sign to just go over to my YouTube channel, make sure that the long form content is there, and then I will give you guys the breakdown on TikTok. I can only do 10 minutes on TikTok, but on YouTube I can surpass 15. So meet me there if you want to see my entire breakdown. I'm always going to look at it from every point of view, non-biased, and it's kind of a therapy for me. So within the opening scene, we start off with Wrigley and Bree, and this is now after they've already shared this kiss. I truly respect the direction that Wrigley is taking because he's making sure that Bree understands. The reason he's breaking up with Pippa is not because of the kiss that they shared or their newfound respect for one another and like admiration for one another, because they're not in love yet and they're not that deep in like just yet. They're really exploring their feelings right now. So it really helped me to understand Wrigley's character. He really is the best person on the show thus far, okay? Everyone does have trauma, everyone does have problems, but his point of view is pretty mature. And you can see that in the way that he speaks to Bree. He wants her to feel assured that there's no pressure. He wants her to know that this is something that he knows he's had to do and break up with Pippa for quite some time. So I respect his honesty, and I can understand he and Bree having a lot of confusion. They are still young. They are exploring their feelings. And I'm happy that he's making the decision to finally break up with Pippa, and I will explain why once we get to Pippa. I took notes in the order of which the show happened. So that is the order in which we're gonna go. I'm speeding right through it. I'm giving you guys my real breakdown, my real take. No fluff, no bullshit. Let's get through it. Evan going to Oliver for advice. Weird behavior, and this officially means that we can wave the red flag on Evan being a red flag. He went to Oliver, in my opinion, because he knows that Oliver had a chokehold on Bree. He now doesn't want to lose Bree. He wants to gain her trust back. So he's saying, let me go back to the person that she was losing her shit over. Also, he's a grown man. If there's advice that I'm going to take from anyone, it's going to be Oliver, which to me is odd because he's the first person that realized and told Bree that this was a mistake and that that's considered assault. But it's like he's not remembering that at this time. What it also shows me is that Evan has no community. There's not one friend or family member that he trusts enough to go to and speak about this, which is ridiculous and says a lot about him. Anyway, Lucy bumping into the freshman was bound to happen, and I am glad that Lucy took the initiative to say something to her so that the same thing doesn't occur. I do know and understand why Lucy decided to do it. I don't feel like there's any kind of angle that she has, but I do feel like this shows me personally she has a spirit. She's still in there, even though she's going through all of this trauma and she's quite lost the last few seasons. She definitely is still in there because she has someone else in mind and she wants to protect someone that she doesn't even know. Lucy barging into Evan's room after he was, of course, ignoring her calls. She has devised this plan to make it look like Steven is crazy. Why would Bree believe Steven? She already hates him. I just don't feel like this plan makes sense. I feel like at this point, they should just bite the bullet and decide to be extremely honest and say, listen, we got extremely drunk. This is what just happened to me with Steven. It was a huge mistake. We are extremely apologetic. We don't know. We were panicking. We took such a long time to tell you, but here we are. We're telling you now, and we are so sorry. Where Bree decides to move forward after that is on her, but I feel like they should have decided to be honest because come on. Like, I just feel like this lie didn't make sense, and I can understand why they did it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Now we have Pippa reacting to Wrigley and him deciding to break up with her. This was interesting, and I literally wrote that. Pippa's reaction to Wrigley breaking up with her is quite interesting, and it makes me dislike her character even more. She had a true opportunity to be real because she considers her relationship with Wrigley important, and she feels as though they are best friends. I just don't understand why she couldn't take this in, say, wow, we feel the same. We are both going in two different directions. I'm interested in someone else. I've been cheating on you for God knows how long at this point and not caring. I feel like she should have said, I feel the same way. This hurts. This sucks. It's unfortunate. I don't want to lose you. How do we go about this? But Pippa has never been mature. Pippa has never been the person that she has claimed to be since season 1, episode 1. And I say that to say this. Her reaction all the time is very negative and very weird. She always acts as though she has done something that she hasn't done. Like she's the cool kid on the block, or like the most advanced or the most experienced in any situation. And it shows. It shows, which is why her insecurity levels are so heightened. And she cannot believe that she's being rejected right now after she morphed herself into whatever she believed that Wrigley wanted. And now she can't believe and can't fathom that he's decided to move forward and just not choose her, because obviously she doesn't even know about Bree yet. I just feel like she has a lot of waking up to do. She has a lot of healing to do, and she should not be in a relationship with anyone. This has been a pattern with her. Think about it. Even down to the topic of losing her virginity. She was lying about reaching her pinnacle. If you know, you know. She's just been really not a good person. She has not been a good person. Everything that people have been feeling about Lucy, they should be feeling about Pippa, to be quite honest. And I don't want to shame her for holding in what had happened to her with Chris, but my gosh, girl, at this point, I feel like it's getting completely out of hand and it's just hurting too many people, and she's just choosing to like crawl into her shell and disappear, and it's just not okay. It's not okay with me. Lucy took the opportunity to go into Steven's room and what I feel is manipulate him. Let me try to serenade him and see what I can do to get this tape back. Let me see what I can do to get myself into his good graces. And I think she's trying to learn how to manipulate him, and it started working. But I feel like it failed once down the line, once he sees her with Bree's mom and confessing to Bree's mom how much she loves Bree, that made him jealous, and that made him put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, she's plotting. She just doesn't want to get caught. She just doesn't want the truth to come out. So that's what I think that whole situation was with her going to the room. I didn't feel like she was begging or anything. I felt like she was plotting. Now we get to the part where Evan has decided to pick up Bree's mom for Bree's art event, photography event. And he really pushes at it like he had an angle. Okay, he pushes at it so much because he wants to feel needed by Bree. He wants to know like that, oh, that's my sad puppy, and like I want to be there for her so that she knows that she never has to leave me. He's trying to use Oliver's advice, but he's using it in the wrong way. And I think the worst part is he fucking believes it. He believes that what he is doing is good. He believes that what he's doing is out of love. It's not, because he ends up taking Bree's mom to have a drink, and he lies to her and says, oh, the event hasn't even started yet. We're gonna be too early. That to me was so conniving, so disgusting, and honestly helped me to understand why Evan is friends with Steven and everyone else. It finally solidified that for me, and he's never been nice. Nice is not a nice word. Nice is not a good word. Go look it up. Go look up the history. Evan is on my shit list, and that was disgusting behavior. Diana shares the Stanford information. I think this was great for Pippa to hear from Diana, because Pippa thinks she's a Diana. Pippa acts like that, in my opinion. Like, I have all the answers, I know what I'm doing, or at least she acts like that because that's what she wants people to think and see of her. It's not how she feels about herself. It's not how she thinks about herself. So when she sees that Diana has decided to, number one, flee away from Steven as far as possible to make her dreams come true, that pissed her off. But what pissed her off even more is that she would flee away to get away from her. But they are nowhere yet. Their relationship is so fresh. So Pippa is losing it if she thinks that Diana's gonna make any kind of life decisions around Pippa, because Diana would never expect that of Pippa. When Diana finally stands up for Lucy and says something and is on her side, Pippa gets so fucking annoyed and so mad that she's defended Lucy. She wants people to be on her team no matter what at all times. And I'm so happy that it happened to her with Diana, because Diana doesn't play. Diana's gonna tell you how she feels, and because Diana never liked Lucy. So for Diana to say something, that has to mean that it's valid information. And I think that bothers Pippa. And also, seeing how Diana stands on business, Pippa is dumbfounded, because she emulates that, in my opinion, as you don't like me. You don't like me because you're not on my side. I feel that's how immature she is. She can't even grasp that people can have a difference of opinion when it comes to certain things and still get along and still agree to disagree. You know what I mean? So she just has a lot of reflecting and a lot of growing to do, and she just needs to be on her own. Evan purposely sabotaging Bree's mother, okay? What is his angle here? Why did he do this? He needs Bree to be in a vulnerable state at all times. He needs Bree to need him and not have family, not have a connection outside of him, is what it feels like. He fears her distancing herself from him on an emotional level, on a relationship level. That is so fucking scary, and she should run. And I know that she's not, because obviously we see that she ends up marrying him, but she marries him for security. She doesn't marry him for any other reason. We get to the part where Pippa calls Wrigley while he's at the photography event, and she begs him after this breakup in like a hysterical event to come over and help her and save her. This was a test. I feel that she did this as a test. She wanted to see, how much do you care about me? How much do you love me? You have to drop everything for me. You saw me do that for you. Here, let's see if you do it for me. And so he did do that. But I am disgusted. She 100% coerced him to have sex with her. 100%, there's no way around it. If the shoe was on the other foot and a man did this to a woman, that's exactly what we would call it. And it is so, so sad that she needed to use her pain as a weapon and as a manipulation tool to get him in bed, to try to solidify one more time of closeness and to try to make her pain go away. He said no multiple times. He was clearly uncomfortable. The fact that she can't see anyone's pain outside of her own is a problem. And it was really sad watching the victim become the abuser in that moment to a whole other individual. And I know that she didn't do that intentionally, but we have learned from a very early age, no means fucking no. No is a final statement. And he said no many times. And that to me was coercion. We're not going any way around it. I feel like Wrigley should have stood firm on what he said and not done a damn thing. But it kind of probably felt to him like, this girl's I'm gonna lose her. I'm gonna lose her in some form or fashion. And that's where the coercion comes in, because he feels like he has no options. And that was very real to see. For the audience, we needed to see that. We needed to see how other versions of coercion look. It was imperative. And it was imperative that it happens from a woman to a man so that we can see that there are so many different ways that it occurs. Wow to the writer. I'm gonna piggyback over to Steven. He loves power. He's completely narcissistic. I'm not just trying to say these are all the things he is. He's a sociopath. He likes power and he likes control. Once he feels that he loses it, he gives up or he gives in because it no longer is fun for him. Period, point blank. That's how he operates. You can see it in his face every single time he's watching or hovering and observing someone else. Evan choosing to dig deeper into his lie when he's talking to Bree about what happened to her mom and how she ended up drunk. He literally says that he found her this way when he picked her up, and that is disturbing because he should have taken the time to say, I fucked this up for you. Now we have Lucy. This was a really deep scene. It was painful. It was uncomfortable. Lucy entering Steven's room to try to get the SD card of the tape that she made on the camera. Her watching it, what it showed me, what I thought at first, aside from her trying to manipulate and find a way to get it, I thought she was gonna snatch it. I was like, she's gonna snatch it and run. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? But she didn't do that. And as she was watching it and the fury and the pain in her face, watching herself say those things, even though she knows that's not what happened, that's not the truth, it felt to me like she was doing this as a pain ritual, like she has been in the previous episodes. She's been doing it because she needs to hurt. She needs to feel something, so some sense of punishment. So she wanted to see it for that reason. But then as she loses it, because she's been losing it for the entire season, but as she finally loses it and you get to see Steven witness it some more, because he already witnessed it when she showed up at his door in the last episode, losing it, here he felt, honestly, in my opinion, like it was no longer a fight for him. In my opinion, there was no cat and mouse. There's no Tom and Jerry here anymore. That's what I've gathered from it. I don't know what anyone else's theories are. I cannot wait to hear all of the theories. I have just been like filming this over and over and over, and I haven't wanted to get any other theories in my head. So that's what I think it is. And I just want to jump over to Lucy getting into study abroad when she gets that call. I hope that she takes it. I know they put that scene in there for a reason. Either she's gonna take it and it's gonna do some good, or she's gonna leave it for some odd reason or lose it. She's gonna lose it because of what comes out with the tape, if the tape and when the tape comes out. The last few minutes of the show, we have finally Bree, Pippa, and Lucy coming together all at once. You think you're gonna get a good powwow. I really wish before Lucy came in that we had some time to see Pippa and Bree have a conversation. There has to be so much tension there, especially since Wrigley was calling Bree right before Pippa came into the room. You know, Bree has no idea they slept together. He was probably calling to let her know that's what happened. But she ends up finding out before, through Pippa, and that's just so sad because you can feel the pain in her face. Also, in that scene, once Lucy does come in and explain what's been going on for the last few weeks, you can see Pippa finally realize, oh, she has been going through so much. I can't believe it. Like, she must think because she's going through so much that no one else is going through anything as bad as her. So she's just not a good person, and she's not a good friend, because her silence says a lot. And I know that she's still upset with Lucy over what happened, but that's not a reason to be upset. Lucy has been holding her secret down. Okay, Lucy could go and blow that shit up, because let me tell you something, at this point I would have, but she hasn't. Bree is a good friend. Bree's response is in that moment, oh my God, what tape? What are you talking about? What happened? But we heard that for a reason. when we hear Bree say, what tape? What are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, I haven't destroyed it yet. I have to go to the room and destroy it immediately. I feel like that's letting us know, ooh, Bree knows that the tape is in the room. Bree knows that the tape has not been destroyed yet. Which leads me to the next point. Once Bree finds out that Pippa has slept with Wrigley the night before and she's crying in the room, she sees the text message from Evan saying, I love you. Immediately, her fight or flight jumps in, and her idea of being safe comes back into play. She now feels lied to and betrayed by Wrigley. She doesn't know what happened. She doesn't know the truth, but she just feels betrayed. And Oliver's wife had already said, choose someone that loves you more. So she thinks Evan loves her more. She sees the I love you text, and that entire decision, everything that happens in that moment is what makes her choose to be with Evan again. So she goes to Evan's house. She wants to hide out there for a couple of days. She sees the fucking picture. Who invited her to that Facebook group? Steven? We'll never know. But whoever invited her to that group, she now has seen the photo. And now this is the person who possibly is going to be the one that releases Lucy's tape. Will she watch it? Who knows? I wonder, will she not watch it at all? Or does she send the tape, put it out there, and then learns the truth after and tries to like renege it? That's what I think is gonna happen, but we have a lot more. There's so much more to see. I think there's only one episode. I was really hoping that there would be at least 10 episodes total, but it's a possibility that it is only 8 this time. My rating for this episode is an 8.2 out of 10. I'm loving the episodes. I'm loving the season and the pace that it's taking. I don't feel that there are any gaps. I don't feel it's too slow or too fast. I'm loving the pace, so 8.2 out of 10. And I will be back next week for my breakdown on episode 8, which may be the finale. So stay tuned. I will have notes then as well. And I will be breaking down Bridgerton the week before it drops the second half. So stay tuned for that as well. All long form content of mine will be on my YouTube channel, and you will just be getting tidbits on my TikTok. Thanks for watching.